Good afternoon, everybody. Silver Dragon here. Going to be doing my review for a game of Dwarves, a lovely casual strategy game made by Paradox Interactive and Zeal Game Studio. Now, the story of Game of Dwarves is dealt with in at least the background lore in a opening cinematic, which we'll be seeing momentarily. I'm just going to show a bit of it, just as a kind of a preview of it in a bit. Not going to show the whole thing, just a little bit. And we'll continue from there right after a little bit of the actual background story.
A long, long time ago, in a no wait. Somewhere around here, and this very mountain, the first dwarves entered this world. The dwarves had unlimited ambition and the talent for whatever they set their minds to.
As you can see, they do the background story in quite the colorful way.
Through mountains, built wondrous artifacts and structures.
It's almost a shame to interrupt it.
And had a courage of steel to face the fiercest of monsters.
But that's about as far as we'll go for now.
And win.
Now, as you saw there, the story is told in quite the interesting little way, in that we have that lovely cinematic in the beginning, and I actually enjoyed it. It's quite hilarious if you watch the whole thing, as they tell the background lore of the dwarves and whatnot. Now, I'm going to skip the whole graphical style for it, because it's kind of self-explanatory, as you can see, cartoony, kind of nice. Definitely fits the casual sense of the game and that. But anyway, we're going to go straight over to the actual gameplay of a Game of Dwarves. Now, when you start up the Game of Dwarves, what you have to do is you basically need to start getting some food resources so that your dwarves will survive and whatnot. The basic resource you're going to need is food, as we can see from the top right corner here, which you can do in these fertile areas here. Now we have this little lovely stone over here. This is the fertilization stone. It will create this green glowing aura here in any tiles that are close to it. Now, the farther away, you can see the one far away over here is not actually glowing. Therefore, food will not grow there, as we are underground. So we do need this stone to provide the light and such for photosynthesis and all that good stuff for all the plants to grow. So at least they took that into account. Now over here we have, if I can scroll myself around, we have gold. Yes, that's right, lovely gold. Which we can actually mine out in order to add to our gold pool to buy stuff from the homeland. Right down here we have some stone, as well as some stone walls, which can also be mined out to give us, of course, stone. And you can also find other resources such as this, I believe, is silver, which just gives you more gold, although slightly less than gold itself. As well as iron and other such stuff you can find later on down the road as well. Which can be used for various other purposes. Now, right here we have ourselves the worker. He is the guy that actually harvests all the food and puts it in a state where we can actually eat it at the table and keep our dwarves fed. Now, right now we only have the 2 lemon trees, so we would actually need more to sustain our dwarven population. So I would just build, like, say, a mushroom and a carrot, just as a temporary solution to get them to live and whatnot, keep them alive, as we do want the dwarves to stay alive in order to continue the exploring, expanding, and exploiting the enemies and whatnot. Now, anyway, we have the crafter here, which is the one in charge of building all of our equipment and such. We have the miners, who are the ones that will actually mine out this gold if I designate it to be mined out, as well as the stone and other resources. You can click on the, you can click on it again to remove it if you so wish, if you made a mistake. But anyway, we're going to let them do that. Right here we have our warrior, which is, of course, the fighter. He can eventually be upgraded to specialize in certain ways. Our king, of course, who must survive. Otherwise, if he falls, then we've lost. He only carries a wooden sword, which is kind of funny. He just likes to play warrior. He just sits and eats all day and doesn't really do much of anything. He's the king, after all. Right here we have our fledgling, as it were, our dwarfling. He can be upgraded into any of the other classes by clicking the little icon above his head and then selecting whatever class you want him to be. However, if you leave him as he is for quite a while, he will actually gain experience as he is, and level up over time just by himself. We also have some resources over here, so of course we'll get that. And right here we have our Scholar, which is the last of the main classes. Now he is actually researching at this table, as you can see by this bar that would be slowly increasing over time. And with that, you will get a research point, which you can then spend on the research tree. Now, Tier 1 research requires, of course, 1 point. Tier 2 requires 2, and so on and so forth for all the various tiers. And they give us various advantages, such as unlocking new objects, such as training objects, traps for engineering, or other perks such as Money Printer, which gains us wealth constantly over time, or Heroism, which gives your dwarves extra damage against bosses, obviously useful against like dragons and various things, or whatever you're going to have to fight during the campaign. And speaking of the campaign, it is spread out across 13 missions, which one could play. It's exactly the same as I'm doing right here. And you can actually go through that, and it's not persistent, so what you build here will not carry over to the next one. You'll have to start all over again, but they will give you some basics. And down here we can see these question marks. It's like, what are these? These random question marks. These are actually rooms. Now, if you dig to these rooms, you will open it up and immediately gain access to them. This is both a good and a bad thing, as these rooms carry both treasure, goods. Some of them can carry blue crystals and other such really important items. But they also have monsters, which these guys the warriors are going to have to defend against. I'm going to make a second one just in case for that kind of thing. And start digging towards one of these rooms so you can get a little understanding of it. Okay, if it'll let me, that is. Okay, now this one's a little bit lower, so I'm just going to go like that. Now you can see my miner dug down here, and now he is stuck. Now we can mobily, personally transport them using this little transport ability. However, it does have a cooldown. And then we could just seal off the area with a bridge by going in here. So we have a lot of different build options in here. We have stairs, ladders, bridges, which can just seal them off. We have doors that we can research that help close off our fortress. Because once you access into the monsters, they will actually teleport around, which I'll probably be showing soon. So they'll actually get into your base pretty quickly. Likewise, we also have the typical seating, beds, the food eating tables. We have the storage chests and cupboards, which you can place down to increase your overall resource storage. Right now our max storage is 750, which can be increased over time. As well as we have our lovely electricity here, which is used to power traps made from the centrifuge stuff over here. As you can see, it's to use the mechanical generator, creates a typical force that is used to arm these traps, which I can't access right now because I don't have traps researched yet. We also have torches and various decorative items, which are used to improve the mood and of your standing of your dwarves and whatnot. And then we have the important ones such as food crops. We have our special crops, which are used to harvest wood and such, which I suggest you also build if you have any spare space. Right now I'm just trying to get rid of all this stuff before I can... Well, actually you can place one right over here, because wood crops is quite important, so you don't have to constantly buy wood like I used to have to do, because I was like, where's my wood? So yeah, over here we have the research tables. We could add additional tables in if we wanted to get another research scholar to research faster, as it were. And one of the best researches to do right at the beginning is, of course, focus, which increases your speed of the research, most definitely. And going back, we have our training here, which is our training dummies, as well as our guard post flags. We can create guard posts, which we dig from, which would make it more secure than just doing it like this, which would lead right back to our main base, where they would allow the monsters in to destroy things and be a general nuisance. And then, of course, we have the fertilization stone, which we already have one placed. We could also move it over here, per se, which would extend it to these areas, which you should probably do, because we do want them... I think, yeah, this is just within the range, so we don't really need to move it, but it would be useful. Right here we can see this wall here. This is a fertilization wall. Now, if we dig this out, we won't actually get any fertile ground. We would have to go up a tile and dig above it, and that would allow us to give access to a fertile tile. So there could be fertile tiles all around here. I'd have to dig it out just to find out. So until then, I wouldn't really know. Now, we'd also want to train up these dwarves here so that they are a little bit prepared for when the monsters come a knocking. So we would create these training dummies for them to train on, which the crafter would then go and create. So he would slowly get over here. You can see the audio, as you can hear, from them eating, to picking plants, to digging up the gold, and to creating these items, and to, of course, the level up. We always have level up charge as they attack these training dummies to level up their skills. Now, some of the AI for them is a little bit dumb in a way, which they will be working on a task, and they'll be like, oh, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go get some meat. No, I'm close to the job, so I'm going to get the job done. No, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat. So they get stuck in those little loops where they go back and forth a bit. And they will be a bit of a pain in that sense. Now, from this is as much of the gameplay as the actual base buildings I'm going to show for now. So I'm going to skip on over to me actually digging out into these caves and finding something to fight so I can show you some of the combat gameplay. So give me a moment on that, and I will get to it in a second. Now, right here you can see we have unlocked this chamber, and it contains some spider eggs, some cocoons, as well as a spider, more specifically a spider worker, and a large pile of gold. So you can see there are rewards to accessing this. Oh, and we have ourselves a goblin or something stuck in this cocoon. Haha. Sucks to be you, my goblin friend. Now, this is only a level 2 spider, so it's not going to be that strong, but of course we would want to engage it. Now, we can let our warriors just attack it, and they will just do it themselves. But as you can see, we've also trapped our little guy in here. Now, he won't be able to get out of here unless we build him a stairway. Now, the interesting thing about the building him either a ladder or an actual stairway is that we don't have to wait for the crafter to get over here to build it for him to climb out. He'll just immediately climb out. Now, let's get our warriors in here. You can see they have the little swords cross mark, which means they are going to engage it, but I'm going to speed it up by transporting them there myself. So they will now engage that spider in combat. They will also start destroying the cocoons and spider webs in this room and basically making it our own. They will also attack chairs and stuff like that to transfer them to our ownership. So let's watch some of this combat here. So we're transported in, now they're fighting. Blocking a lot. Now, your basic Dwarf Warriors will be incredibly weak, which is why I would definitely suggest going into the research and quickly unlocking military specialization as quickly as possible. That way you can turn them into ranged units as well as really good melee units. Would help quite a bit with surviving. So you can see there he's attacking the chair. He's getting rid of the cobwebs, getting experience by doing so, which is allowing him to level up some more, a little bit quicker. Once they reach level 5, they will unlock specialization. They'll be able to do that. Oh, and as you can see right here, we have just fallen into a, what is one of the main rooms. Right here we have a blue crystal. These are one of the main items you want to collect. Now, he is trapped down here, same thing, so I want to build myself a staircase out of here. Now, the reason why you want to get doors in this case, let me go up here and generally get him out of here right now. The reason you want to build staircases or not staircases, doorways, is because these guys, although they can climb here, they can also teleport. I'm not sure if one of them will actually do it for me. We'll find out here in a moment. Let me get my warriors over there to quickly defend us. Defend us, warriors! Defend us! Oh, what are you doing? Get back up here and kill this guy. Silly warriors.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Now, they didn't do it here because they had a quick, easy access to the actual dwarves themselves. Now, these guys will start destroying all the various things we have built, which can cause a lot of issues, especially if they destroy a table, and so on and so forth, which means they can no longer eat. And it can be quite a pain in the ass. Right now, though, they are level 6 dwarves. My guys are not prepared for this, so they're more than likely going to die. This is unfortunate. If a dwarf happens to die and we get lowered under the cap, obviously we haven't even capped ourselves yet, we would have to go to the Hem Fort, which is the main city panel here. Here we can trade, we can upgrade our spawning pool to increase the maximum amount of dwarves we have. But basically we would hire our dwarflings here, and as you can see the progress bar will go along the right side here as it slowly builds up to when we will get our new dwarf, which we will have to turn into a combat dwarf to help fight off these invaders. Now, you can see there are still the issues. They are attacking, luckily. This is a good part of when they're actually attacking in the base mode. They have killed my dwarf. They will actually attack not just my dwarf, but they will also start attacking the items around him. So that way you get free shots, basically. I can actually encourage that free shots by teleporting him away so that he is now attacking that chair and allows me to attack him. So let's get these guys turned into military quickly so they can get to work engaging this enemy. Same thing. Whoops, I did not mean to teleport them that far away. That's my bad. Now, as you can see, we have our tombstone here. We can sell it, move it, do whatever we want with it. We can create a temple to the fallen dwarves if we really wanted to, which is just like a room with tombstones in it, to be honest. Nothing actually special or made in game. Oh, and another one just died. Wow, that kind of sucks. Oh, well. But anyway, that's the basic combat gameplay. Now, later on, anyone could, of course, as I said, specialize their dwarves, turning them into advanced classes. But that's the basics of the actual gameplay itself. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, moving on to something else. One last little thing I'll do before I actually give out the score is something interesting I have noticed to the actual game. Well, let me actually just quit and I'll show you here itself. Although this is a cheap game, it is only 10 bucks. Oh, it's not even, there we go. It is only 10 bucks. Now, there is a partial reason for that I've seen, because there's quite a bit of gameplay to this right now. But, skip all that. The reason that it is cheap right now is because, as you can see, we have a shop here. Which means there are more than likely going to be a lot of microtransactions with this game. Good thing, bad thing. It's only 10 bucks, so if you want, you definitely get the gameplay out of just that 10 bucks that you're paying. I've paid 60 bucks for FPS games. I've spent 6 hours on the highest difficulty to beat, and then it's done. So yeah, you definitely get your bang for your buck out of this game. They do give you one free DLC, as it were, one free microtransaction, which is the small paintings, and then from that you can move on to whatever else they're going to add later on along the road. What they are, who knows, but we'll find that out later on. Now, anyway, as you can see, it's been it's rather interesting game. It's a pretty basic, casual strategy game, but for 10 bucks, you can't go wrong, so I definitely recommend buying this game. It is a good game. I enjoy it. I can't wait to get through the campaign and fight back the mages, those evil mages who are restricting our world and whatnot. And there is also a surface part to the map as well, but you can't really do much with it. From as far as I understand, more than likely it's just to be invaded from, really. You can't really do anything with it. But anyway, as I was saying there, this is an amazing game. I definitely would suggest buying it. 10 bucks, can't go wrong. I would give it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, flashing, or just 8 out of 10 there. Actually, I could probably add that in as a quick title to that. Yeah. There we go. Yes, an 8 out of 10. Huzzah! So yes, definitely pick up this game. It is a great game, worth your money, as it were. Although it will have microtransaction, it will hopefully not be anything too... Well, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they added pirate hats or something crazy like that. It's silly. Just because people want it, people will buy it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review for a game of Dwarves. We showed quite a bit of the gameplay and all the other aspects of the game. And yeah, check out if you want to check out my content, feel free. Till then, have a good one, and enjoy your dwarves, and bring out the ale! We need ale, damn it! Dwarves aren't happy without their ale. But yeah, thank you for watching.